Alright, so, hey guys, so, this is another video, specifically my third video on this channel, in this video we're going to be getting into functions and equations, okay? So, I'm gonna go here. And something I want you to remember is that domain is x, just right over there, and range is y. So these two things are very important that you have to remember, and so is the whole mapping diagram. Okay, so just gonna go ahead and erase this. Okay, so we've got that done. Okay, let's go back to pen. Okay, and let's get started. So first of all, I'm just going to talk about some simple equations that we can use. So right now we're doing equations. All right, so yeah. I can probably write that a bit neater. So I'm just gonna go ahead, do back. Oh wait, no, forward. Oopsie. Nope, get out of here. Okay. So we are gonna start with equations, and because it's a little more basic, and functions is I would say a little more complicated. Okay. Okay. So we have equations right over there. Right? And now let's start with some simple ones. Let's do 3x equals 12. In this case, you divide both sides by 3, and you get x equals 4. Right? So that's just a very, very simple equation for you to get the concept. So basically what you do is you divide, so you want to isolate the variable. In most cases, there will probably be more than one variable, but in a lot of cases, there is less than one variable too. Alright, so right now this is just one variable, so I wouldn't say it's very hard, but it may be hard for you. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you some more examples. So and they're gonna be a little more complicated. So what we would call this is an equation, okay? Now there are things called expressions. An expression would be let's do hello, can you work? Let's do -4, right? So that would be considered an expression because it's not equal to anything. Okay, and so with this, we just simplify. So we get 9x minus 36. So, yeah, because you do 9 times x and then 9 times 4. But now, say we knew the value of x, okay? Say the value of x were, whoa. Okay, that was a little weird. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. It still looks a bit messed up. I don't even know what's going on right now. Okay, anyways, that's fine. So say we know what x is. Okay, let me just fix that. Let's say x equals 5. Okay, so then you get 9, 5 minus 4, and you get 9, 1, and then your final answer is 9. So, yeah, and yeah, that's basically what this whole topic is going to be about. And if you look over here, if you want to solve this, you get 9 times 5 minus 36, 45 minus 36, 9. They're the same answer. So, yeah. So you can just use this equation right here to simplify. Or if you know the value of x, you don't have to do this. And yeah. So this is going to be the equations part. I'm definitely going to dive in more on equations later in my videos. But for this video, that's that. And now we're going to get to functions, okay? So functions is more advanced than equations, but all in all, it's not that much more advanced. And I'll show you why. It's basically like tables and like stuff like that. It's just maybe a little harder, but like I wouldn't say that much. I definitely won't say that much. And so there are a lot of parts to function. And as I said before, remember the mapping diagram. Okay? So, and remember the mapping diagram, domain, and remember range. Definitely remember range. Okay? And so now I am going to yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to make a small graph over here. Okay? And I'll just put that and that here. Say this is something and this is something. They can be anything. This can be age, length, or something like that. You know what? We'll do that. Or I don't know. It can be literally anything you want. Okay? And now let's make this one X, and let's make that one Y. Oof, I messed up on the X. That's fine. So make X and Y. Okay? So now there's one thing that's really important over here. So you need to know the domain and you need to know the range. Okay? So let's do it like this. So let's make 5 numbers, 1, 2, or 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And now let's just make it simple over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And let's do. Okay, and then let's do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And you'll notice a pattern. Everything that's the x-axis is being multiplied by 5 to get the y. So there's an input and there's an output to this equation. And remember, this is domain. This is range. So if we were asked the question, what's the domain and range of this function, we would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wow, I messed up so bad on that. 5. And then our range would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay? So we have that. And that would be our domain and range of this. Okay? And if you need to graph this function, you can represent this. You can represent this as 1, 5, 2, 10, 3, 15, and so on. Okay. So let's say we were to graph this. Okay. Then it would look something like this. We can actually, let me get this right over here. 5. And okay, so we got one line there. And we got one line there. Okay, so now we're gonna do 1, 1, 1, 1, so on. Alright, so we got that until now. So you don't have to make all these lines. I just am. Okay, so our height on our x-axis is going to be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on our y-axis is going to be 25. So let's do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Alright? Let's stick with that. So our first thing is 1 and 5. So that's going to be somewhere around here. Our next thing is 2 and 10. That's going to be somewhere around here. Our next thing is 3 and 15. It's going to be somewhere along here. Our next one is 4 and 20. That's going to be somewhere along here. So, yeah. And then 5 and 25. And as I said before, I'm just going to do that. Nope, that's not on the close enough. I mean, I'll try again. Okay, so that's pretty much there. Okay, so that would be how your graph would look, and remember to add the points. Okay? And so that's, if you were given this right there, this would be how you graph that, okay? So this is just the starting. So I hope you understand this much right now. And yeah. So now we can also represent this as a mapping diagram. Okay, so if you remember what mapping diagrams are, I'm going to write a mapping diagram. Okay, so this can also be represented as mapping diagrams, like I said before. Okay, so I'm going to make one line right there. Right there. Pretty straight. That, and that. Right? So, not the best, but it'll work. So, we got our mapping diagram here. And remember, 1 is the input, and output. Okay? So, we got input and we got output. So, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And none of these repeat, so we can write all of these down. 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. This would match with that. That would match with this. This would match with that. That would match with this. And that would match with that. And so that's basically what a mapping diagram is, if you forgot. Okay, and yeah. So now, make sure you remember all of this, and now I'm gonna erase it, and we're gonna go on to something called the vertical line test. So I'm gonna take all of this out. Okay, make sure you remember, or you can just go back in the video. Okay, so I'm gonna take that out right now, and then I'm gonna do something called the vertical line test. Okay, so I'm gonna get a few sets of coordinates, You might have seen these before, you might not have seen these before. Okay, we got those. I'll do that. I'll do -1, -2, and I'll do negative. Or you know what? I'll do 2, -2. Right? So those are our sets of coordinates right now. Okay? And so now we're gonna graph these. Okay? And we're gonna need a whole graph for this because they're going into the -2. So I'm gonna make one long line like that. Looking pretty good. And one line like, well, no, no. Get out of here. One sec. Let me go back to pencil. Give me a sec here. There's something wrong. Okay, anyways. I'm gonna go up. Let me take out my line. Let me go back to here. And, let me go here. And I'm gonna go back to blue. Okay, that was messed up, sorry. Nope, okay. I'm just trying to make this graph look, realistic, but it's definitely, how you want it. Like, I just want this graph to make sense. That doesn't work. Nope. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. And so now, our highest on our x-axis right now is 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then our next is -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll add another one there. 1, 2, 3, 4. -1, -2, and -3. 4. And then we got 3 over here. 1, 2. Honestly, I'll just do everything as 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, that's supposed to be a 3. And okay, so we got a simple graph here, and now we're gonna plot these down. Okay, so we got one right here. That looks messed up. We got one right here. Okay, then we got a -4 and a -2. So that would be right along here, somewhere here. Then we got a -1 and a -2. That's going to be somewhere along here. And we got a 2 and we got a -2. So that's going to be somewhere, yeah, I would say that's going to be somewhere around there. Okay? And so now that we've plotted down these points, we're going to do something called, and let me just write this down so that you remember. I'm going to do the vertical line test. Okay? We got the vertical line test that we're going to do. Okay? So, let me make this more like a circle. So basically, you see if any two coordinates are coming down. So we can, and this determines if it's a function. So we can already determine that this is not a function. Okay? And this is how. Because we can already see, one sec. Just gonna go back there. Oh god, that's really weird. Okay, and we can already see that this is not a function because those two are like right like under each other. And if I make a proper line, yeah, just like that, we can see that they're right on top of each other. And this is not correct. That means this is not a function. If we go back to our first thing, which was a line, none of them were overlapping. But this one, we have two of the same. And as you can see over here, we have one that says 0, 3 and 3, 3. So that means two inputs. That inputs are 0 and 3 equal the same output. And that output is 3. And this is not possible. It's not a function. So if you can look at it itself from the coordinates. And if you're not that good at looking at it from the coordinates, then you can draw a graph. And you can use the vertical line test. And basically you can check if your equation is right or if it's wrong. So this is going to do it for this video. I hope you learned something from this video. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. And yeah.